Hello everyone, welcome back to my class. This is Rumana Ali. I hope you all are fine. In the previous session, I have explained you about the chemical, physical as well as biological properties of the soil. In today's class, let us discuss about soil fertility. Soil fertility means when the soil will be fertile. So, if the soil possesses all the proper physical, chemical as well as biological properties, then we can say that the soil is of good quality and the soil is fertile. And the fertility of the soil can be maintained because of the presence of organic matter and also because of the microbial activity. So, the presence of organic matter and the active microbial action makes the soil fertile. If the new substances or the waste material are added into the soil, then the soil fertility will get disturbed. The soil start losing its fertility when the new substances or the other materials are added into it. If the pollutants are added into the soil, then it kills the microorganisms which are present in the soil. Then by killing the microorganisms which are present, the microbial action stops and whatever the waste material or the decaying matter present in the soil, they remain in the soil as it is. It cannot be decomposed. As the microorganisms are killed by the new substances or the pollutants, the microorganisms cannot show or cannot carry out the process of decomposition. So, it also disturbs the soil fertility. It also disturbs the balances or the properties of the soil. So, now to make the soil fertile, the farmers usually use biofertilizers and they usually use organic manure instead of using chemical fertilizers, chemical pesticides or insecticides. Let us see one association or let us study about one fungal association with the plant. So, here the fungus named mycorrhizae shows an association. It makes a relationship with the roots of a plant. So, when it attaches to the roots of the plants, it provides some minerals. It provides some micronutrients like iron, zinc, copper. All these micronutrients are required by the plant in traces amounts, but these are very essential elements that are required by the plant. So, the plant can get these kind of nutrients by the association or with the help of a fungus called mycorrhizae, and in turn the plant gives sugars to the mycorrhizae. So, in such a way both of them are benefited for each other, both of them are providing certain substances that are required by them. So, they are showing some relationship, and this association between the fungus and the roots of the plant can be termed as symbiosis. So, in this way the microorganisms are playing a crucial role in maintaining the soil fertility and also in maintaining the proper physical, chemical and biological properties of the soil. Now, if we add the new substances or the pollutants or waste materials into the soil, then the soil fertility will get disturbed and the soil loses its properties. So, to maintain the fertility of the soil, we need to see that the soil which is present, is it containing all the proper properties or not, or all the essential nutrients are present or not. So, by analyzing this, we can or farmers can select the suitable soil and they also select the suitable crop to be grown in them or to be grown in it. Okay, organic farming is a practice which needs to be done by the farmers in order to produce the good variety of the crops, and the healthy crops can be produced by this organic farming. In this organic farming, usually farmers use the biofertilizers. They don't use the chemical fertilizers, pesticides or insecticides. They go for the usage of biofertilizers. Now, what is the meaning of biofertilizers? So, here the biofertilizers are not the source of nutrients. They are not nutrients or the minerals that are added directly into the soil, but these biofertilizers are the cultures of microorganisms. This microbial culture is added to the soil by the farmers. So, if we add the microorganisms into the soil, they start the process of decomposition. Okay, so the decomposition means breakdown of the decaying matter into some usable form. In this way, by adding the microbial cultures, they can provide many nutrients to the plants, and hence the fertility of the soil can also be maintained by the presence of different nutrients and minerals after the decomposition takes place. So this is about the soil fertility. The soil fertility can be maintained by using biofertilizers, and also it can be maintained by showing a symbiosis or symbiotic relationship between some of the microorganisms along with the roots of the प्लांट्स. तो अभी हम बात करेंगे सॉइल फर्टिलिटी के बारे में. फर्टाइल सॉइल यानी उसके अंदर ऑर्गेनिक मैटर भी रहना चाहिए और माइक्रो ऑर्गेनिजम्स भी प्रेजेंट होना चाहिए, ये वाले ऑर्गेनिक मैटर को यूजेबल फॉर्म में कन्वर्ट करने के लिए. जब भी सॉइल के प्रॉपर्टीज़ होते हैं जैसे कि फिजिकल, केमिकल और बायोलॉजिकल, ये सारे प्रॉपर्टीज़ अगर प्रॉपर रहेंगे सॉइल के तो उस सॉइल को हम फर्टाइल सॉइल बोल सकेंगे. ठीक है, अब यहाँ पर बात करेंगे एक फंगल एसोसिएशन के बारे में. यानी माइकोराइज़ा एक ऐसा फंगस है जो प्लांट के रूट्स के साथ में एक एसोसिएशन बताता है, एक रिलेशनशिप बताता है और दोनों भी एक दूसरे के लिए बेनिफिशियल होते हैं. फॉर एग्जांपल माइकोराइज़ा जो है फंगस, वो प्लांट्स को माइक्रो न्यूट्रिएंट्स प्रोवाइड करता है जैसे कि है आयरन, जिंक और कॉपर, और प्लांट्स इन टर्न शुगर्स प्रोवाइड करते हैं माइकोराइज़ा को. तो इस तरीके से एक सिम्बियोटिक रिलेशनशिप होता है जिसको हम बोलेंगे सिम्बियोसिस. अब ऑर्गेनिक फार्मिंग यानी एक ऐसा प्रैक्टिस है जिसमें फार्मर्स पेस्टिसाइड्स और इंसेक्टिसाइड्स का इस्तेमाल नहीं करेंगे बल्कि बायो फर्टिलाइजर्स का इस्तेमाल करेंगे. बायो फर्टिलाइजर्स यानी ऐसे माइक्रोबियल कल्चर्स जिसको ऐड करने से सॉइल फर्टिलिटी भी मेंटेन होती है और क्रॉप भी अच्छी क्वालिटी का प्रोड्यूस होता है. सो दिस इज अबाउट the soil fertility. Let us study about the various factors that affects or that decreases the fertility of the soil. So one of the factor is dumping and decomposing. Here dumping and decomposing means the waste which is generated from the household activities or industrialization or hospitalization or various other commercial usage. So the waste that is generated from all these things, these can be thrown in a dustbin or these can be thrown in a garbage bin, and that garbage bin is taken to the open lands, and whatever the garbage is present in that bin is thrown on that open land. So this leads to the soil pollution, and the fertility of the soil can be decreased by doing this practice. By dumping the garbage in the open lands, the soil loses its fertility. And the garbage which is produced because of these activities, it's of two kinds. The first one is biodegradable waste, and the next is non-biodegradable waste. Biodegradable waste are the wastes that can be decomposed by the microbial action. The microbes can break these substances into some other nutrients or the minerals. But the non-biodegradable waste are the waste that cannot be decomposed, that cannot be degraded by the microorganisms. They remain on the soil or they remain in the soil for hundreds of years or for a longer period of time, that damages or that destroys the properties of the soil. In this way, the biodegradable waste can be converted into some usable forms, but this non-biodegradable waste cannot be converted into the minerals or the nutrients. Biodegradable wastes include fruits and the vegetable peels, and other kitchen wastes can also be included as biodegradable waste. Non-biodegradable waste includes plastic, tin cans, metals. So all these comes under non-biodegradable waste. Now the biodegradable waste and the non-biodegradable waste, as they are combining, as we are throwing both of them in one bin or in a combination, this degraded the properties of the soil, this destroying the properties of the soil, which in turn the soil loses its fertility. So to maintain the fertility, the first thing that we need to follow is throwing of biodegradable waste and the non-biodegradable waste separately. The waste that are generated by some commercial usage or by other household activities, that should be degraded as biodegradable and non-biodegradable, and these waste should be thrown separately so that it can be recycled. So this non-biodegradable waste and the biodegradable waste, if they are thrown in a combination, that leads to or that arises many severe problems in the environment. For example, the soil loses its fertility, it destroys the properties of the soil, and the soil cannot be absorbed the water. The soil cannot absorb the water because it loses the fertility as we thrown the biodegradable and non-biodegradable waste on the open lands. So in this way it affects the soil and it leads to the soil pollution. And the waste which is generated by our daily activities or domestic activities that are thrown on the open lands, and that leads to the soil pollution. And sometimes some people burn that waste. So burning of the waste is also harmful as it creates a lot of air pollution. So to reduce the soil pollution or the land pollution, we need to throw biodegradable waste and the non-biodegradable waste separately so that the biodegradable waste can be recycled. We should remember one point always, that non-biodegradable waste, whatever the things that we are using, it should generate only the biodegradable waste. If it is going to generate non-biodegradable waste, then it will lead to many environmental problems. So usage of non-biodegradable things should be reduced. By this we can prevent the soil pollution. So this is about the dumping and decomposing. तो अभी हम एक ऐसे फैक्टर के बारे में बात करेंगे जिसकी वजह से सॉइल फर्टिलिटी डिक्रीज हो जाती है, वो है डंपिंग एंड डिकम्पोजिंग. जो भी गार्बेज प्रोड्यूस होता है हमारे एक्टिविटीज़ के बाद, वो वाले गार्बेज को ओपन लैंड पर थ्रो किया जाता है, जिसकी वजह से सॉइल की फर्टिलिटी डिक्रीज हो जाती है और सॉइल के प्रॉपर्टीज़ भी प्रॉपर नहीं होते हैं. अब यहाँ पर दो तरह के वेस्ट जनरेट होते हैं, एक है बायोडिग्रेडेबल और एक है नॉन बायोडिग्रेडेबल. बायोडिग्रेडेबल यानी जिसको हम रिसाइकल कर सकते हैं, जिसको डंप करने के बाद में माइक्रो ऑर्गेनिजम्स ब्रेक डाउन करते हैं यूजेबल फॉर्म में. तो इस तरह से वो जो भी यूजेबल फॉर्म में ब्रेक डाउन होता है, वो वाले मिनरल्स और न्यूट्रिएंट्स को प्लांट्स यूज़ कर सकते हैं और सॉइल की फर्टिलिटी भी मेंटेन की जा सकती है. और नॉन बायोडिग्रेडेबल वेस्ट यानी ऐसा वेस्ट जिसको हम डिकम्पोज नहीं कर पाते हैं, यानी जिसको माइक्रो ऑर्गेनिजम्स ब्रेक नहीं कर पाते हैं, वैसे वाले वेस्ट को हम बोलेंगे नॉन बायोडिग्रेडेबल वेस्ट. और ये वेस्ट कई ईयर्स तक डंप किया हुआ होता है अगर इसको ओपन लैंड पर थ्रो किया जाए, तो जिसकी वजह से सॉइल की फर्टिलिटी लूज हो जाती है और प्रॉपर्टीज़ भी इम्प्रॉपर हो जाते हैं. ठीक है. बायोडिग्रेडेबल वेस्ट यानी फ्रूट्स, वेजिटेबल्स, पेपर, ये सारे वेस्ट जो कि रिसाइकल हो सकते हैं, जो कि डिकम्पोज्ड हो सकते हैं माइक्रोबियल एक्शन की वजह से, उस वेस्ट को हम बायोडिग्रेडेबल वेस्ट बोलेंगे. नॉन बायोडिग्रेडेबल वेस्ट यानी प्लास्टिक्स, टिन कैंस और मेटल्स, ये सारे वेस्ट जिसके ऊपर माइक्रोब का कोई भी एक्शन नहीं हो सकता, वो वाले सब्सटेंसेस और वो वाले वेस्ट को हम नॉन बायोडिग्रेडेबल वेस्ट बोलेंगे. बायोडिग्रेडेबल और नॉन बायोडिग्रेडेबल को कॉम्बिनेशन में थ्रो करने की वजह से सॉइल ख़राब हो रही है, सॉइल की क्वालिटी डिक्रीज़ हो जा रही है, जिसकी वजह से सॉइल का वाटर एब्जॉर्प्शन कैपेसिटी भी डिक्रीज़ हो रही है. तो जब भी वेस्ट थ्रो किया जाए, इस बात का ख्याल रखना चाहिए कि बायोडिग्रेडेबल और नॉन बायोडिग्रेडेबल ये दो वेस्ट को सेपरेटली थ्रो किया जाए ताकि वेस्ट को रिसाइकिल कर सके. So this is about dumping and decomposing, which is one of the factors that decreases the soil fertility. So just before we have seen that dumping the solid waste on the land or onto the soil can causes the soil pollution. It can cause soil pollution and it leads to many problems to the soil. That includes the soil loses its fertility, the properties get disturbed, and the organic matter and the microbial activity also gets decreases, because of which the plants cannot be grown on that soil and the soil cannot be absorbed the water. So one cause of land pollution is dumping and decomposing. The other causes of land pollution are usage of chemical fertilizers and usage of pesticides and insecticides, and deforestation is also a cause of land pollution. So as the farmers are using the chemical fertilizers to increase their production, these chemical fertilizers is not good for soil. It is destroying the properties of the soil, due to which the imbalance in the soil can be seen. Okay. So the next is pesticides and insecticides. as we are spraying pesticides and insecticides to control the pests and the insects in the field, but these pesticides, as we spread into the fields, they go deep or they seep down into the earth, they reaches the groundwater. In this way the crop quality also decreases and the groundwater is also getting affected. The groundwater is also getting polluted because of the seeping of these pesticides and insecticides. And if that groundwater is consumed by the living organisms, then these pesticides and insecticides accumulated in the body of the living organisms. We are having a system, we are having an internal organ called liver that detoxify the different substances, but liver cannot detoxify these kind of chemical substances like pesticides and insecticides. So as they are accumulating in the body of the living organisms, it causes severe effects, it causes many different health problems, and it also leads to the soil pollution. The next is deforestation. Due to urbanization, or as the population is growing day by day, the people demand for agricultural products, for shelter, it is also increasing day by day. So to make the houses, the people are clearing up the forest, and also to perform the agriculture. For agricultural purposes also the forest is being cleared up. They are cutting down the trees of the forest, which is called as deforestation. So because of this deforestation also, the soil pollution can cause, it leads to the soil pollution. So how? So as they are cutting the trees and they are building the houses, whatever the waste that is generated due to the household activities, they are dumping that household waste here and there, and by this the soil loses its fertility, and by this the soil loses its fertility and it leads to the soil pollution. One more factor we can add here for the causes or as a cause of land pollution, and that is e-waste. The waste which is generated from mobiles or computers, televisions and other gadgets, all the electric equipments, the waste which are generated from all the electronic equipments, that waste can be termed as e-waste. And as usage of electronic equipment is increasing day by day, the people are using these gadgets more, so the waste is also generated more. And to make these electronic gadgets or to make these equipments, the heavy metals are used. So these heavy metals includes mercury, molybdenum. So as they are using heavy metals to make all these gadgets, but after using it, when it becomes useless, they are throwing it away. They are throwing it simply. So by this, the metals which are present in these gadgets, they are non-biodegradable. They cannot be recycled easily, and it causes the soil pollution. It leads to the land pollution. So these are certain factors that are responsible to cause soil pollution because of dumping, because of using chemical fertilizers, pesticides and insecticides, and also because of deforestation and e-waste. The soil is getting polluted and it leads to many different problems that can be seen in our environment. हम बात करेंगे ऐसे फैक्टर्स की जो लैंड पोल्यूशन को कॉज करते हैं, यानी सॉइल पोल्यूशन कॉज करते हैं. वो है डंपिंग ऑफ सॉलिड वेस्ट. सॉलिड वेस्ट को लैंड पर थ्रो कर देने की वजह से सॉइल ख़राब हो जाती है, और केमिकल फर्टिलाइजर्स का ज़्यादा इस्तेमाल करने से भी सॉइल की फर्टिलिटी डिक्रीज़ हो जाती है और सॉइल की वाटर कैपेसिटी भी कम हो जाती है. पेस्टिसाइड्स और इंसेक्टिसाइड्स के इस्तेमाल से भी ग्राउंड वाटर भी पल्यूट हो जाता है और सॉइल भी पल्यूट हो जाता है. पेस्टिसाइड्स और इंसेक्टिसाइड्स ऐसे हार्मफुल केमिकल्स होते हैं जो कि हमारी बॉडी डिटॉक्सिफाई नहीं कर पाएगी, और जब वो ग्राउंड वाटर जिसके अंदर पेस्टिसाइड्स और इंसेक्टिसाइड्स प्रेजेंट होती हैं, वो अगर ह्यूमन बीइंग्स या फिर अदर लिविंग ऑर्गेनिजम्स कंज्यूम करेंगे तो फिर वो पेस्टिसाइड्स उनकी बॉडी में भी एक्यूमुलेट होना शुरू हो जाएंगे, और ये वाले केमिकल्स डिटॉक्सिफाई नहीं हो सकते, जिसकी वजह से कई तरह के हेल्थ प्रॉब्लम्स देखने को मिलेंगे. और डिफॉरेस्टेशन यानी फॉरेस्ट के लैंड को क्लियर अप कर देना हाउसेस बनाने के लिए, और जो भी हाउस होल्ड वेस्ट निकलता है वो फिर कहीं पर भी डंप कर देना. इसकी वजह से भी सॉइल डैमेज हो जाती है, सॉइल के प्रॉपर्टीज़ इम्बैलेंस हो जाते हैं, क्योंकि जो भी प्लांट्स प्रेजेंट होते हैं सॉइल में वो सॉइल को फर्टाइल रखने के लिए हेल्प करते हैं, लेकिन जब वो प्लांट्स को कट कर दिया जाएगा और वहाँ पर हाउसेस बिल्ड कर दिया जाएगा तो फिर सॉइल की जो है फर्टिलिटी डिक्रीज हो जाएगी, ऑटोमेटिकली द सॉइल फर्टिलिटी डिक्रीजेस। और ई वेस्ट यानी ऐसा वेस्ट जो इलेक्ट्रॉनिक गैजेट्स में से जनरेट किया जाता है, जैसा कि है मोबाइल्स, कंप्यूटर्स, लैपटॉप्स और टैबलेट्स, ये सारे इक्विपमेंट्स में से जो वेस्ट जनरेट किया जाता है उसको हम बोलेंगे ई वेस्ट। ये गैजेट्स को बनाने के लिए कई हैवी मेटल्स का इस्तेमाल किया जाता है, जैसा कि है मर्क्यूरी और मोलिब्डेनम। अब ये गैजेट्स ख़राब होने के बाद में जब उसको फेंक दिया जाता है, थ्रो किया जाता है, तब उसकी जो हैवी मेटल्स है उसको रिसाइकल नहीं कर पाएंगे, वो इजीली से रिसाइकल नहीं होते हैं। और जब उसको सॉइल में या फिर गार्बेज में थ्रो किया जाता है तब वो लैंड पर जब थ्रो किया जाता है, डंप किया जाता है, इसकी वजह से सॉइल ख़राब हो जाती है और सॉइल के प्रॉपर्टीज़ भी इम्बैलेंस हो जाते हैं। सो दीज आर सर्टेन फैक्टर्स दैट आर रिस्पॉन्सिबल टू क्रिएट लैंड पोल्यूशन और सॉइल पोल्यूशन। दैट्स ऑल फॉर टुडे। मीट यू इन नेक्स्ट क्लास। थैंक यू।